This is Gerald Johan van Was with some sound-informed foundations compared to the Chinese characters or words ren, ta, da, and also right and left, chuo, yao. I will have, sorry if I have a slight accent, of course. I'm still learning, but I'm also learning it from the positions of the letters that are founded in the theory that you can also find in these books. So let's go and see where the sounds are originating in these words, and then you can understand both the Chinese characters maybe even better and the context that it will bring us closer to it. They are not just words or letters randomly. They have a whole world of associations that they tend to keep in order, keep intact, and keep it also in a running order that you participate in the balance in the world. So let's see what the positions are from the sounds alone. So of course we have my basic theory is a vision on time and space. We have here the whole range of what you can see, and our Western foundation and all the letters start in the letter A, as you see there underneath. The letter A is the very first letter in the orientation in space. That's how we have a perception to the world. We start from everything that we pinpoint in space and go from there. Then we add time, then we add context, and we learn the context, we learn the time context. That's our basics. The Eastern path, which I call it, has the foundation in, or immediately in the time frame. It has the concepts, where it is in the concepts of communication, of intercommunication, and the concepts are already closer to be found there, not as a physical foundation in space, but as an interconnection in time, and then you can derive the context. The words in Chinese don't have the foundation as they have in the Western languages in the meaningful directions towards where you are in space. No, you need the process in time and the context, and the context as well will help you to guide you to what we are talking about. But basics actually are all the same, and that's what I'm going to prove once more today. So the first word I was going to express was ren. The letter N, as you will, read about, the Japanese has a special foundation in the whole letter system. I will not talk about that now, but the N is in my system at the second place on the timing. The first three letters in that scheme are about orientations, still in space, but dependent on time. The second, there are three parts: the part where you start, the part where you develop things, and the part where you limit things. So when we start from space in a time frame, dependent on the time frame, the N wants to say, that's how you can derive it from the theory. So the N wants to say, I have here a development of forms. I can figure out forms, I can see forms, I follow forms in the right timing. So they have already their timing scheduled already, where the forms, where the things match, where you can use them, and so on. That's the letter N. That's the way of thinking of the letter N. And where are the places for the system also in timing? That's a good place. A little bit outside the middle might be even better, but you will see they are in the positions of where the things are in the 4 seasons, let's say, where they develop. So we fill in the orientation objects in the right timing. Where is the letter R? That's in the last category of the letter R is in the last category of context. R makes context with time, but also in space. It connects something via the timings in the middle. In space, that's the idea beyond the R. So it connects from the 0 point where we start to think from until the borders of our understanding, and we will try to find the matches, the number ones that we need. Can't say where they are now with run, but because I still have one letter to go, and now we know where the run will run, of course. The is here in the scheme on the second in the second row of letters at the first position. The second row of letters in the second scheme are about what is taking shape, what is taking form in timings. When we start to shape something in timings, it means we are going to time things. We have a center of time. We have that center, so we will use the to pinpoint the starting points of different timings. So now I have all the letters. So what is run? I already will add the letter run in the scheme here. That's the Chinese character. You have the letter N positions. We know already the R is the connection, so it connects from the starting point of timing to an end point of timing, and then it makes that connection. So Ren are the persons who are active, is about persons. It is a person who is actively, and that's the association with the sounds. It's a person who is actively participating and connecting in the system. The system is the logic we use, the language you use, and all that we use for logic in language. So in a way, it is like an opener. It's not just the walking. You can see it as a walking person. It's not deliberately associated as such. You can see it as the opener in the SIPS system, but it's also with a beginning of the end. So it is, so the walking idea is not bad, actually. It gives you a place in the system. That's the run. It's the opener. He opens also the full system. He's in the middle there. He opens actually every conversation, every action, every activity. It starts with man, and it will be processed by man and his reasonings. That's how you can understand the symbol. Now let's go to the next letters then. We had Ta, we had there. Now we know T and A are in the first positions, the positions of space. So in like we use it in our Western foundation, Ta is actually pinpointing exactly the place where we can start effectively in space. A is the space, T is the place where you can use something for the first time because you know its measurements, horizontal and vertical. You can start to use something effectively in space. That's how you can understand the sound positions alone. And now let's go to the characters that we have there in the Chinese script. We have some, so I have some of them that they are slightly different. It all means the same, except that the first character is for the for male things, or for males. The second one for females, and the last one for neutral things. And it is used, to pinpoint actually what is male, what is female, what is neutral of things, or of starting points as well. So these are the males, female, and neutral starting points. So it still fits with that idea of the sound positions. And let's compare it a little bit with man, who you have there in the middle, the ren, is man, the neutral and the general position of what participates, and it also opens the system and keeps it running. The first part of this symbol of the male thing is a bit comparable of this walking man, but here it is like you put it into the ground. It has a foundation. You put the foundation there, and this is more like the starting point of, it could be a hammering or slashing. Let's associate it with that. You put the pole in the ground. You have a starting point. You start a starting point somewhere. Where do you start it? In space, of course. That's your first step that you do. The first founding. It's not a real step, but it's really the starting of a foundation. That's how you can understand this character easily, where it is used as well. So that was the second part. That's what I almost forgot. Is you can also see the combination of this with the second part. There's a second part in it, so it's not just the part that you say, okay, here I start, just like the T can start somewhere where you can say, okay, here, this I can use. The second part means something like as well. So this works as well. So and the very old system, in the very old characters, you can recognize a person which you see in front, and to the side is the same person, and where he will move towards, it doesn't matter if it's going right to the left, or if it's moving differently. You can count him on it. This is a person as well. So it's not just man with its general rules, even a man. So here it is the male then will also be obedient to the same rules, and wherever it will go to, if it will take different steps, it will still move and follow its own nature. That's more or less how you can understand the difference between man. I can talk a long time about all the difference of man and the male, and then the general human, and so on. All these words, there is a kind of neutrality, a general rule in there, and you have the male character and the female character, which are, of course, positions, individual positions of the general thing. Of course, except for the male things, that you have the male, which is man is a man as well. No, a man is man as well. You can also say that a little bit. So they are this position is a male's viewpoint. It's like for the Western society. With the A, it's my viewpoint. No, it is someone's viewpoint. You can start from someone's viewpoint, and someone's viewpoint, he's also a man. So he as well can participate and will act like a man. The female is a bit different. So you have also the female and as well. So you have also she. Instead of he, you can also have she. Now, the character you can recognize in the beginning, that's not the starting point of man or a man in that case, but now of a female. The character of female you see now here in the middle. It's also pronounced as nu, and nu you can also associate with the letter positions. The N, we know already where it is. Actually, the symbol fits very well with the end positions for a large part, except for that there is an incomplete part in the middle. It's that center, which is actually dependent, and this U means as in letter positions. The A is a center position. You have one center, one vision, and you can follow it. The U or the U, both of them as a sound, are about positions that say there is also a different vision. There's also a second opinion. There's also something that you can follow from I. We can follow you, but you will be incomplete for us. So it will, we'll still have to follow and try to follow it, and it will be a bit incomplete. So this incompleteness is creates a dependency. It's a dependency in character also, and this is character of dependency is also visible in the female character. Female character, it's also associated at some points with a woman with its hands tied in like this, and being a bit modest and not interfering with anything. It's compliant much more than the male who has to interfere all the time. The woman part, it's not that then we have to associate it as, oh yeah, the woman then has to follow the man. In a way, in the reality, it is the actions are done like that very often, but it also says it is dependent on sensing if the things are correct or not correct. That's also the woman part. So it also is another kind of balance compared to the male, who immediately have to fight for his place and rules a bit more primitively in that way. So don't ever say like the male is the leader and the woman is a follower in a negative sense. You have to understand it from the positions of the letters as well. You have the A position, which is I, which is following I. The U position is following the other, and it's compliant to a learning process. So that's different. So the sounds of nu has a dependent center. It follows the things in time as well. So here ta also uses, it is expressed as a, so it also uses the same center as the male one. It starts as an independent center, and it can be used over time, and it can be its role and can be in its role. The last symbol, the neutral thing, you have this on top. It's like on the pot. You have something to close the pot. I can't remember the English word. You can see it like that, but it's also like the roof part of not just of the symbol of your associations. It's the heavens of associations. It's the theoretical part. Most of the time you have this symbol when it's going to the neutral part, the common good part. Here it's about the neutrality, that it's used in the neutral way, so it's also fitting pretty well. But before to understand why it is all in the left side, I associate it with the yin and yang balance of this whole time frame that you have there in the middle, in the eastern path there. The right part that you see there is what is actually going from end summer to winter. It is automatically becoming, you can't change it anything, it's passively becoming. That's that part where you have to undergo what is the reality. And the other way around, that's actually where the things come out of the winter, and they will, the first thing that will be is that that's the neutral. It's neutral at that part. It are the things that come out, and if you want to change things, then it needs our activity, our effort from spring onwards. But it also is that passive part here. As far as I know, it is it is there in that passive area. But I can be wrong for this, but that's how for now, I will understand it well, because it fits with the seasons and the how I see the balance there, and how it fits with also the sound positions and so on. And to guide me a little bit into this system, I will go also to I still have Tsuo and Yo. I hope I have them right this time. Left or right has positions in that are a bit strange, how they look like. The left and the right, that's why I said the left and the right are not positions in space in that system, in the whole system of letters. They are positions in the timings. So you have something that comes first and then comes out of it. So the right and the left are not where I have my right hand or where I have my left hand. It's not. It's more like you put something in on the top left. You participate in the like with the hammering. You start to participate at the left, at the top left. That's and what comes out automatically is at the bottom left. So what is then left, and how do they see left and right in the Chinese script? Because I quickly will take that to it as well. I feel left. It is somewhat left, so that's okay. But you see, also right is it looks pretty much the same. And how can you understand this difference between left and right? First of all, helping guiding hand is the sounds. The Z is the letter in my system, which basically says in the timing process that you have there in the middle, the Z is what is what is returning towards the rhythm inside it. So it needs process, inwardly process. What you see there, what is symbolized there, is a process which is unfinished business. The left is the unfinished business. Is that what you still have to make? It's also presented as a tool very, very often. So it says, as I did, the top thing is the hand, and it takes the tool. So you still need work on it. It's the left part, that's the work that you get out of, also out of the winter. You get the work out of the whole seasonal changes. There's now work to do. That's what is associated with the left. The left is often in a lot of language associated quite negatively because it's not working in favor. It needs work. While the right, you see, it's associated with the full frame underneath. So you also have the hand, but now you have the full frame. So I have my full frame. I have everything in my favor. It is often associated again as the hand, and the round or square one, it can be associated with the working field, but it can also be associated with the mouth, where it comes out, So that's where I take my things in. But I don't think that's a very good association to remind you, except when it helps you. And why not? Because when you look at the very old scripted oracles, it is the hand of the left is at the left, but you can have indeed a tool, but it can grasp anything, and it can even grasp, as you can see, it also has not just a mouth, is the mouth of the river in that area because it has a lot of associations. It's that working field in which the timings are visible. That will not help you to say, okay, it's the hand that will take something to the mouth, so that is right. Now associate it differently. But in the letters, there's also another thing that helps. The Y is associated, as you could see in the other videos, when I project what I want from the physical area or in the timing area. The Y is my goal at the end, so at the timing, the last part of the timing. So I make a plan. I can make my plans accordingly to the timings that I receive. So I have the full frame. So I have the ability to frame my timings. There is the Y used for. So you can understand the difference between Yao or Zuo, left or right. Now, what we have at the end is we have starting points of Ta. What we already have, we have the starting points of Ta, which were actually like you have starting points in space, and you can apply them to a process in time. So they are if we have man is already general, is a general concept, and this concept is dependent on time process, but here we start one with a Ta. We can start a new thing, new association without a time frame yet. So Ta basically were the association of all the people and all the things that you can simply start from, as you have this foundation and the repetition that can turn to somewhere else, to somewhere, wherever it is. This is the male as character, the female character, which its dependency onwards, and also going any place, anywhere. And then the neutral, which is just being there, let's say, like in a corner towards the as if it's just a thing. It's nothing but a thing, and you can use it, and you can start to use it when you want. That's the neutral part. Also Ta. What is the difference then with Da? We had already, you see here, run. And why did that? As I tell you, it's not just man, just like Ta is a man, female, neutral. This is the concept around it, where we start the system. This is also the foundation for the symbol Da. This is Da. And now I will associate it where we have the positions of the sounds Da in our system. We have already a Ta. So Ta is in space. We start something in space as the thing. So it is the thing. We can use the thing. So now where is Da then? If I look into the system of my letters, Da is in the second category. The second category is of timing, at the same position of T, but the D has the position of, again, a placement, but this placement is completely dependent on the time frame. So it will make a change. It will have to participate in the timing, and it will also change, just like run will run its course. It will run its course. So Da basically is starting from that dependency of the process with all of its changes and its dependency towards change. What does Da means? Where is it used? It's used everywhere in words where there is a kind of enlargement. As you can see again, it's not just an opening. Here it is an opening on the time frame, and that means it is gradually becoming larger or more important in the process. And that's how you can understand this scripture as a system better by all these association, And you also have the character with the foundation. When in his background thinking that it's actually uh, developed consciously, also consciously over time, so that it's also more abstract and that it will fit into this time frame. Not everybody will also consciously know that this exists, but there is a balance seeking foundation, not just in the letters and sounds, but also in the characters. And these characters, it is based upon the timings. We expect people to behave in a certain way so that the balance can be maintained. That's an underlying structure which is in every letter in the system of Chinese characters. And I am able to understand it better thanks to also my understanding of letter positions in time and space. I hope you enjoyed. Books, YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. List of words. Thanks. Bye.